our next session of Fireside Chat, talking about India's first ever hyperlocal e-commerce mall in Inorbit Malls. It's such a pleasure to have amongst us Mr. Navin Joshua, founder and director of GreenHonchos, in conversation with Mr. Rajneesh Mahajan, Chief Executive Officer in Inorbit Malls. A round of applause for one of the best names of the industry that we bring to you right here. And this Fireside Chat is not only going to be fun, but also very, very engaging.
It's always a pleasure. Rajneesh, we've always learned so much in the last couple of years. It's lovely to be working with him quarter on quarter, understanding the vision. What a great set of malls that he's spearheading. But what we wanted to talk about specifically today is the hyperlocal concept, where the vision emanated from, why the need and why now, what have we been seeing in the last year. Obviously a brainchild of Rajneesh and the team at Inorbit. We've been talking about it quarter on quarter, but we just went live around mid of August in a soft launch. And it's those exploratory weeks where we are learning and understanding all the forward and reverse journeys here. So I'll leave that to Rajneesh to please share some insights about the vision, the need, and why now.
Good evening, everyone. So there are, multiple data points that we looked at, and we said is kind of making sense to do it. One, we saw quick commerce picking up very fast, and customer getting used to ordering as and when they want it. And hence, at many times in our lives, we felt the need. You need something, but the online platforms will not deliver you in short time. And the quick commerce is still focused on food and beverage. And if you have to go to mall, it takes 2 hours to go, park, buy, come back. And we said, there is something which we are not able to service. That was one. Quick commerce need, instant gratification, instant product in hand is what is required. We also saw that yesterday Ali was talking it, like mobile is like an organ added to our body. And today if you have to reach customer's heart, it goes through that organ. It's much easy to touch a consumer's heart through the mobile screen. And that is the most expensive real estate in this world. That 13 centimeter of screen, you can burn crores and crores to be on that, and you still are not sure whether you will be able to crack it or not. And all the malls did app, all the malls did phygital and everything, and we couldn't crack. None of us could crack that real estate while we are in real estate business. And we felt there has to be a continuous content which makes sense to the consumer to browse, right? And marketing events do not give that opportunity. A range of product gives you that opportunity. So we sending marketing messages one after other is not going to crack, is not going to hold the eyeballs and the attention to stay on the screen that we have cracked. So we said products do make that sense. The third thing we looked at is enhancing the service level. Today, the best of the FMCG brands, they keep bombarding you with their brand name. Is just to stay alive in your mind, right? Why will two biggest cola brands keep advertising? Is because they need to stay alive in your mind. So how do I stay alive in my consumer's mind? Is a great opportunity for us if we can keep throwing a service opportunity at consumer again and again and say, here I am able to serve you right now. Here I am able to serve right now. If I can be appearing on the consumer screen 4 or 5 times in a day, look at the power of my connect with the consumer. Right. So that was another thing that we looked at as an opportunity, increasing the service level, increasing the communication, increasing the brand recall, which all of that will help me increasing the sales of the store at my mall. Not necessarily through e-commerce, but it will help me increase the store sales in my mall. And the fourth, Amir just touched about in his presentation, that when the online guy has an offline store, or the offline guy has an online presence, the wallet share goes up. Right. it complements each other. It doesn't eat into each other. So that was another data point that we said is interesting point, that if we can be omni-channel, if we are physical, our opportunity to extract more money from consumer wallet will go up. So these were the data points that we looked at, and we said it makes sense to try it out. Why now? We tried this in 2016. We were not very successful. And one of our learning that time was that whole industry was adopting technology. And we could not be successful unless everybody adopted technology. Now when we look at retail partners, we see that all of them are cataloging much faster. All of them are present online. All of them having their own websites. So a lot of digitalization in their own environment has happened. So we felt that now linking the two technical words will be possible, and hence it is now. And we are lucky we got it right. Today, we can proudly say that we are the first mall which has some part of our mall going online, and you can experience it. In a certain geography, we have actually delivered products in 2 hours. In couple of orders that we got from an extended geography, we could deliver in the same day. So it's happening. As you said, we are still in the experimentation stage. We have not gone out full-fledged. We want to iron out. We want to go through the teething problems that are there, and then press the pedal and take it full on.
Excellent. I think there were a lot of keywords in what you said. One was the takeaway that it's not really cannibalizing anything. And the other thing is you want to service in more ways than one, beyond the hours of operation that a physical retail would help. And also how it actually increases the share of wallet. I think those are part of the vision and the timing that has gone right, we feel. Early use cases, early journeys is what we are watching very closely and with a lot of excitement. But I'll also say that, we've had our fair share of challenges in getting the entire ecosystem and entire partners. Rajneesh, it would be lovely if you could share some honest, transparent challenges that we've actually had to scratch our heads around every quarter to finally tweak the business model enough where, we were able to launch it with enough value proposition.
I think I see three challenges that we went through. One was to clearly define what we want to do and what we want to carry to achieve and what we are willing to drop to achieve what we want. And those were decisions we were taking like every third discussion. And decisions like cash on delivery, right? Now, it took us few weeks to come as a team to a conclusion. We are not an e-commerce player, and we are okay if we don't do cash on delivery, right? It's not an easy decision. It may, I may have said that in one sentence, but if you are planning a business and you're looking at future and you're saying, everybody's doing it, can I afford not to do it? And then we said, we are looking at a service, we are not looking at a business. And hence, we are looking at a genuine customer, serious customer, who really needs this product right now. And hence, it fits in my protocol to say, I will not do cash on delivery. You pay, I will deliver. So these are the kind of businesses decision at every data point that you take. A simple decision like packaging took us like 5 weeks, and the colors are not coming out. If you want this kind of color combination, you cannot use recycled paper. As a business, we decided we want to use recycled paper. So if that decision is made, then what are the best prints that you can go with, which will work on this brown paper and still make it colorful, and what sizes of paper, how many bags, and you may laugh at, but there are decisions to be made. Do you have 5 sizes of bag? What is the cost involved? What is the logistics involved, team understanding involved? But can you cut it down to 2 sizes and you can still do it efficiently? So every stage you have to make a decision which you have to keep in mind the objective that you want to achieve. If you are not staying true to your objective, if you are not measuring every decision that you take to the objective of the business that you want to achieve, you will wander and you will be all over the place. And then you can never get your act right. So that was one challenge. How do we invest? And none of us driving this has done e-commerce ever. Navin and his team were throwing jargons and we were saying, okay, what does this ABCD means, XYZ means? And they were like rattling OMS, DMS, and I said, boss, talk Hindi, talk English. I don't understand your language. Please talk to us in language that we can understand. So that was one challenge that we had to address every day. The second challenge was internal challenge. It's not one person doing it. The whole company is doing it. Every department is involved. And at times we were looking at decisions and, the legal department, the finance department, and we are like going over for them for like weeks. And we are saying, guys, this is a 2,000 rupee decision. Don't look at it as if you are buying a mall, right? It is not a 500 crore rupee decision. It's a 2,000 rupee decision. Your risk is very different. You have to approach it very differently. But the same set of team cannot just switch cap. It's just not possible. A guy who is looking at risk from a land buying perspective, leasing out an anchor space perspective, just cannot understand a 4,000-5,000 rupee shirt transaction, trouser transaction, and lower down the risk. So the startup mindset in a large empire just doesn't come. And it is a big challenge internally to say it is a business which needs to be run like a startup. Guys, you got to be nimble. You got to be, somebody saying, I will revert in a week's time. I said, no. You need to revert in next 7 hours. And you will not revert on one agreement. You will revert on like 20 agreements in next 7 hours. This is a startup ecosystem. You can't take 7 days. You can't take decisions which take months to decide. It's a startup. Today, when we are live and our marketing team, the issuance of POs, the purchase, a system is not designed to act like a startup. And that's a big internal challenge. How do you act like a startup? How do you just get things done quick? Idea came to you in the morning, it should be up in the evening, and people should be seeing it. That's a big challenge. And then the third challenge is an external environment. You're dealing with hundreds of retailers. Each one is having his own ecosystem. Each one is looking at business in their own environment. Each one has a different decision-making parameters. Each one has their own business objectives. They have their own technology. They have their own business processes. They have their own challenges. Their business constructs are different. Somebody is on a distribution, somebody is on SOR, somebody is on a franchise, somebody is on a EBO. You multiply all these factors, right? And then look at one decision with one partner. It just goes crazy. So that's the external environment which we are dealing with, such a diverse parameters, such diverse technology platforms, such diverse business decision making. A simple decision like when the product is returned by the consumer, what will happen? And you talk to 15 retailers and you need to have 15 different processes to do it. And that just multiplies your challenges exponentially.
I do believe when we are talking about, the challenges, I think one of the most refreshing things was to keep it simple. And throughout, whenever we were problem solving, they can all get very complex. But to kind of demystify it and move with pace and always keep the customer at the center, you'll probably go more right than wrong in most of the cases, right?
Yeah. So one of the things that we started with when we were discussing internally, we said any step that doesn't add value should not be there. Yeah. And I keep giving everyone example that if you go to an ATM, most of us don't go to an ATM now, but 2-3 years back when we will go to ATM will ask you English or Hindi. What a stupid question. Just get my preference once recorded, and you don't have to ask me again. Technology provides you that. They will ask you saving account or current account. You have my bank account number. Why are you asking that? You should know whether it is saving or why should I make one more step? So SDFC came out with an ATM software later. You go there, they will not ask you English, Hindi. They will not ask you current account or saving account. They will also not ask you what amount. So if your last couple of transactions are 5,000, 10,000, They will simply prompt you an option saying withdraw 10,000. So which means you're pressing the ATM machine only twice. But in an experience is a whole universe of difference, that how you remove every unnecessary step from a consumer experience. So we have been driven by that anything that customer, any touch point on the screen that doesn't add value to customer, just remove it. And that has been our philosophy, to simplify as much as you want.
You know, you're in a very unique position where you watch the demand closely and you watch the supply closely, and you're in a position to give feedback to brands and retailers. So that is the adoption side. You know, I'll come to the last track where we'll talk purely about consumers, but brands and retailers and the supply is the heart of this, right? What message do you have basis the head start that Inorbit has taken in this space from a leadership position, from an adoption position? Yeah, why, how, now? What's your message to brands and retailers?
I think if I look at it from a brand's point of view, they are dealing with very diverse channels, right? And they have their own website, they have platforms, multiple platforms, they have EBOs, they have franchises, they have distribution, they have MBOs, and then they have some outlet malls and outlet stores. And then there are small multi-brand outlets in different cities. They are reaching to consumer through so many different channels. And each channel is evolved on a technical platform very differently. Yeah. And they are at a very different point of evolution. So their ability to adopt to say now 10 different malls to say, okay, I will be part of 10 different mall omni-channel is only adding more parameters of complexities to them. So I do understand that it's not easy for them. Yeah. It's hugely difficult for them to choose a channel, and when you're not sure about the outcome of that channel, correct, right? And to devote your resources, change your technology, change your protocols, change your processes. In simple answer, I don't want to do it, right? I understand that. But I think the key that every retailer has to solve is how can they simplify their management decision making to be able to cater to multiple channels in a simplified manner. But if they don't simplify their business decisions, it will be difficult for them to stay nimble and agile. If they have to become agile, they have to simplify. The protocols have to get simplified, the technologies have to get simplified, the channels have to get simplified. And once their businesses are simplified, you just imagine how many parameters get dropped and how much flexibility they get to adopt new possibilities in a quicker manner.
And I think we want to take even a further extra step, in the education process, in the consulting process, because adoption does take that push, because you're actually talking about brands and retailers changing some processes. And neither are we on this side competing with the Mintras or the Ajios. That's not even the point.
So we are not just in that business.
Yeah, we're not in that business at all. From a consumer purchasing consideration set standpoint, you talked about the costliest real estate, the 13-inch mobile screen per se. Are you seeing more and more of these cross-channel, digitally influenced decisions, marketing, line of sight, and that's where we are getting prepared for?
When I talk to my kids, right, and one is going to be teenager, one is already adult, their information base is so vast, and their knowledge is so huge through the social media feeds, through the connects that they have, and the algorithms that work on each platform is making. So there was a time we were reading news and we were chasing news, right? Now the time has completely changed. The news is chasing you. The information is chasing you. The algorithm is making sure that the area of interest that you have, that information is just chasing you, right? So if you are liking football, the whole football world globally is on your screen because algorithms are telling this guy wants to know what happened to Ronaldo, what happened to Messi, and what. If you are a basketball player or if you are badminton, if you are shopping, if you are travel, the world is throwing information to you at a pace that you're just consuming data, right? In this highly sophisticated information channel, in this highly educated consumer, you don't even know who you're dealing with and you don't even know what all he knows. Today, sometimes I feel I know this news and let me share with my son or daughter and they say, oh, Papa, I saw it 3 days back. And I said, oh, I'm so late, right? And you just can't compete. So as a marketeer, it's impossible to understand what consumer is thinking today.
So you have brands who are online and they're selling, and then you have Amazon and the Mintras and Agios also who are doing a similar kind of thing. I just want to understand what is, like a departmental store, like a Shop Stop would also have these kind of categories, selling. So as a mall, is that what you're doing also? I mean, you said
Yeah,
it's
so
not like the...
we are taking department stores also online with us. So Shopper Stop is online, though the depth of the merchandise is not as much as they have in the store, and they are in the process of uploading more and more. The idea is in this ONDC world, and my belief is that ONDC is going to disrupt our lives a little differently. And I had the privilege of sitting with the team and understanding what the example they gave us is that UPI started around 8-10 years back, but it reached a tipping point that in last 2 years, people don't carry wallet when they go out shopping. We have stopped withdrawing money from ATMs, and we didn't even realize that it has happened to us. Now, I'm here in this conference, I'm not carrying my wallet. I'm not carrying my credit card, debit card, or nothing. As long as I don't lose my mobile, I am financially independent. ONDC is going to disrupt the shopping in a manner that we will not even realize that how we are figuring out where the product is coming from. And if you are not able to show up on the screen as an option, and a brand, let's say a denim brand, the denim brand will have an opportunity to show up on that ONDC world as a direct store, will have an option to show up as a department store, will have an option to show up as an Inorbit. So the chances of a consumer nearby Inorbit searching for a denim brand who is presently with us is not 1, it's 3 times. So your opportunity to bombard customer by saying, I am here, I am here, I am here, is far more. The more visibility, the whole marketing gimmick is about visibility. So if you have 3 times more chances of showing up on screen, your chances of catching that customer and transacting is far more higher.
Rajneesh, this question is specifically looking at the mall culture, what we saw evolving in the last 20 years. Initially, the brick and mortar mall culture came up. Everybody just clamored towards it as consumer as well as the mall owners. Now the phase is moving towards a hybrid structure where you have, GreenHonchos and yourself have executed strategies on this. Gradually, we will see many such malls adopting this strategy. How do you vie for a mind share or a space, the real estate space now, many more malls coming across? What differentiation do you think coming across?
So there are a couple of things, we are not changing our business model. Our business model is still to create best-in-class social infrastructure where people love to go out and shop. So that remains our base business. That is not changing. We are not, because we have this platform, we are not changing the sizes of our mall or configuration of our mall. We are looking at aspirational social spaces, and we continue on that journey, and we will keep upping our ante on that, and we will keep delivering better and better social spaces, more aspirational, more design-oriented, engagement-oriented. What we are looking at is that how can I stay connected with my consumer more often? Now, everybody tried a platform. So many people tried e-commerce. Only a couple of them succeeded in scaling it up. Now, it is up to how you run your business. And I am sure some of us will be able to crack it and move it forward. Some will not be able to crack it and not move it forward. Some people will learn from us and we will learn from many more. And we all will become better. Like shopping center in India over the last 10 years journey, by learning from each other, we all have understood what works, what doesn't work. And the failure rate of the new malls is far lower than the failure rate of the earlier mall. So I think in this domain also, as more people jump into it, we will learn from each other. We will pick what is working, what is not working, and we will be able to adapt and move forward and make it successful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Rajneesh. Some very insightful snippets for us, as always.